Hey, what's up, pro wrestling fans? Welcome to Nation's Corner. I am Front Row. Joining me this week is Debhausen, the great and powerful, Tony Justice, the greatest truck driver of all time, and Mongrovian Mike. What's up, people?
What is up?
Yo.
Uh-oh, he's hydrating already.
Oh, no.
It's going to be a strenuous one, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a lot of ground to cover today. We're gonna talk a bunch of wrestling, and I know we have a special guest. So before we jump into all the wrestling talk, Mike, who's our special guest tonight?
Our special guest tonight is Dr. Cool J. Klang, Creator Pro wrestler, Victory Pro Wrestling wrestler, and all-around cool guy.
All right.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Cool. All right, well, stay tuned for that. Okay, so there's a ton of stuff going on, but before we talk about the actual wrestling stuff, we have to give a shout out to our good friend Dave LaGreca. Dave is going to be co-hosting the NXT pre-show tonight for Halloween Havoc, 7:30 Eastern on Peacock with Sam Roberts and Mackenzie Mitchell.
Mhm.
I am super excited for Dave. I know he's been such a big part of wrestling for 13 plus years now as part of Busted Open, as the head of Busted Open. It's a big opportunity for him. But I also wanted to mention like the cool interview that they did with Shawn Michaels, and Shawn Michaels on Friday talked about wanting to build a relationship, not only with NXT and Busted Open, but WWE and Busted Open. And I couldn't be happier for Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. I Dave is killing it. I know we've, personally told him ourselves, when we've gotten the chance to see him. We've thanked him for everything that he does. He's just like working his way up, getting noticed, doing big things. And John in the chat said, I knew he was a WWE shill. Yeah, which is hilarious because people consistently accuse him of like being on AEW payroll because he talks highly of their product, when he likes to remind everyone that the only paycheck he's ever gotten from any wrestling company is from WWE several times. So, it's, that's quite interesting.
He was apparently attacked in the parking lot. If you look at on Twitter,
those NXT parking lots.
It's dangerous. Enter at your own risk, man.
Who would want to hit that face?
Lots of people, apparently.
Apparently. So, and go ahead, Tony.
To piggyback on what Deb was saying, we saw Dave last week in Baltimore, and he couldn't have been more excited about what he's doing tonight with NXT. He just was beaming, and I feel like that Dave is it's a long time coming with this relationship that Busted Open and WWE NXT are going to have. Hopefully it's a long and fruitful one. It's been a long time coming because it's just, Busted Open is the #1 wrestling show all across the platforms, and it's just well deserving, Bully says it all the time, they listen. So maybe they're finally on board with it. But Dave, we got to tell him face to face of how much we're so happy for him on getting the new 3-year deal with SiriusXM. That is well deserving also. So it's about damn time. Let's go.
Agreed.
Well, yeah, he said, they say he's a shill and he gets paid by AEW. He gets paid by WWE. He really only gets paid and barely by SiriusXM. So he just signed it. All kidding aside, though, he just signed a 3-year extension deal on his contract. So congratulations to you, Dave, raising a daddy soda to your brother. We congratulate you. We love you. You brought us together. Bring the world together.
Heck yeah, brother. Well said.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And for me personally, you guys know I've been friends with Sam Roberts for a long time, and I'm very, very proud and happy for all the stuff that he's done, from being an intern to being a producer to having his own show to being a big part of WWE. And I know Dave and Sam will have good chemistry tonight, so I'm excited to see that pre-show. So that'll be at 7:30 over on Peacock, and then leading into Halloween Havoc at 8. However, there was a lot of other stuff that happened this week. Where do we start? Do we want to start with MJF? Do you want to start with Bray Wyatt? Where do we want to start?
Let's start with MJF. Let's go right into it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Go right into it, Deb. Come on.
All right.
Come on.
I think the consensus among, most people, and if you don't agree, I'm sorry, but you're just wrong, is MJF is the best person on the microphone right now. There's no denying it. Anytime he speaks, like, everybody is just enamored. And I said it on Discord the other day, his promo had me hypnotized. Like, I was just staring at the television, just completely hypnotized by every single word that he said. And yes, the
John, you might be right in there.
It helps. Yeah. However, yeah. He's also just the best. And he has this arrogant, pompous attitude about him. But you can't fault the guy because he's right. Like, yes, he's arrogant and he's narcissistic, but he's right about everything he says about himself. So I think if you're not enjoying what's going on with MJF right now, like, I don't know, why do you watch wrestling? I don't know.
Yeah, and we talked about his interview on Sam Roberts, and it all really ties in. If you're really paying attention, especially over the last couple of weeks since his return, he's really not being a heel. Like, his promos are very babyface. Like, it felt something for him after this week when he was talking about the letter and how he was suicidal over it. And I don't know what's real and what's not, but I believed it. And it definitely made me feel sympathy. You don't build that level of sympathy for like a pure bad guy, right?
Right.
Yeah, no. I was pointing out to you guys before that you're watching that whole 20 minutes promo?
14 minutes, 15-minute promo.
Yeah, and he's getting booed. Then all of a sudden, in 3 seconds, he's getting cheered. And then it goes to Regal, and Regal's getting booed from the audience because MJF won him over. And then Regal wins them over, and they start cheering what he's saying. And it's like they're two masters. Like, they know how to just listen, and they know the feel, and they got it. And MJF is by far, I mean, God, the guy was toe-to-toe with Lord Regal. The guy's been toe-to-toe with Chris Jericho. The guy's been toe-to-toe with anybody that's anybody. It's not just, he's just amazing.
Deb was right. Yeah. To Deb's point a while ago, talking about MJF on the microphone and how she was just hypnotized. Well, if you go back and listen to the promo, it's like the crowd was silent while MJF was talking. There was nobody trying to what him, nobody trying to hijack the promo, hijack the show. MJF was speaking and people were listening. Yes, there were some, like, whenever MJF would say something and then the crowd would go, you fucked up, talking to Regal. But it was like, once MJF started talking again, like, MJF stopped and let them, say that. And then he went right back into his point. I mean, telling a story, this is awesome storytelling that they're telling right now. I know people's been saying the past few weeks how AEW is kind of lacking on the storytelling. But I feel like ever since the media scrum at All Out, ever since that whole fiasco, AEW's been doing an excellent job of telling stories. And it's like they did an excellent job of pivoting off of that and just kind of like rebooting like Dave does all the time. they rebooted, and it's like they're doing an excellent job. And MJF is so must see. I went back and watched his promo from like 4 months ago. The what they're calling the MJF pipe bomb. I went back and watched that just because, and it still gives me chills when I listen to him. I've seen that over and over, and it still gives me chills. So that man is the best on the microphone across the board. I don't care what you say. He's the best on the mic, period. And he says it himself. He's a draw. He's a generational talent, and he's right.
Right.
And yet there's somebody else that when they get a mic, everybody stops and listens, and he's on the other brand, and he has a totally different way of delivering things, and that's Bray. So like these two guys, these are the two. If I didn't change, I was watching NXT Halloween Havoc. I said, let me just see what's going on in NXT because I was watching Havoc live the other night, and it was the flippy match, so I changed it. MJF was there. I was stuck. If that was like the trios match going on or whatever, I would have changed right back to NXT. But MJF has that power. Draws you right in. You hear him say 3 words. You don't even know what is he saying, who's he pissing off or whatever. But with MJF talking about the face thing, I still wait for the other shoe to drop, like with Randy Orton. You know, like they're so perfect at it, and they get you to that. And you know he's gonna screw us. And we're still waiting. And when he does it, we're gonna go, you son of a bitch.
Right. Kind of like Bully Ray. Like so, just to kind of spin off for a moment, then we'll go back to it. Impact right now, Bully Ray just made his big return to Impact after how many years? And the other night he just had a match with Tommy Dreamer against, who was it? Chris Bay and not Ace Austin, who replaced Ace Austin. I can't remember. I'm blanking. Anyway.
No, it was Juice Robinson.
That's right. It was Juice. Thank you.
We's in the Juice.
Who was doing a fantastic
job. I mean, we're getting Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer teaming together in 2022. And then we're getting this story with Bully and Tommy where Bully's saying, for the first time, I'm going to be a good guy. I'm going to do things right. And everybody else is saying, I don't believe you.
Yeah. It's funny, Tony, you mentioned, that sense of reality with MJF. If you remember when Roman Reigns came out a few years ago and he said, my name is Joe, and he talked about being sick and having to take time off, the crowd immediately switched gears into, holy shit, this is real. We're not going to throw stuff at him. We're all invested in his health and well-being, right? Yeah. There was a very fundamental shift during the beginning of that but like his appearance. Yeah. From we're booing this guy to, oh my God, he's sick. We worried about him. We care about this guy. I feel the same type of thing with MJF. I know it's not the same type of reality, but with MJF, especially this week, I really felt like, man, everything he's saying sounds legit. And I really care, like the fact that he's overcome all this stuff to be where he is now, because in interviews, especially the Sam interview, he talked about coming up and he talked about having to deal with all that shit. And
being in school, being in school and the kids picking on a little 5-foot Jew boy, and stuff like that. And I believe that's part of the realness of his promos that bring you in. Now with that email, I wonder what was embellished on it and what wasn't. He really got that email.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
You know what I mean?
I'm sure.
And it's just brilliant. It's working the same way. He had that picture with CM Punk, and he said the little MJF meeting CM. It's so perfect that he's such a fan from such a young age that he has all of this stuff to bring out and say, "Hey, I was there." If I brought my picture out, of Jake the Snake and say, "You screwed me," I'm
waiting on him to. I'm waiting on him to cut a promo on Rosie O'Donnell so that they can go back to
God
appearance on Rosie O'Donnell.
Let's not bring Rosie into this.
Yeah, we don't need that oxygen sucked out of the room.
But on the other side of that, William Regal's promo, he's like, "Oh, that's great that this email motivated you. But while you had an email, I get the shit beat out of me every day, week after week, month after month, and that's how I had to break into the business. Like you had it easy, and it was like, oh, okay." This is like William, you forget because you see the guy on TV, but you forget where he's been and what he's done. He's as old school as it gets. So for him to remind the crowd that, this guy, you can feel something for MJF because he got a nasty email, but like most of us had to be like really broken into the business.
Exactly.
And at 19, he also probably, it still was a little bit You know, it might not have been 20 years ago wrestling in the back, but
Mhm.
it's still 5 years ago. It's different now compared to 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
He would have been brought it, you know.
Right.
They would have, and what Regal said, that's how he won the crowd back, with that blood
Mhm.
coming out of crying, his 17-year-old boy crying himself to sleep, blood coming out of every hole,
Yeah.
saying,
Now-
I won't quit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've had it
So,
great, sunshine.
people are giving MJF all the props on the mic and all that, but you cannot forget there was another person in the ring too, William Regal, who was a master at just, while MJF was doing all that talking, the look on his face, and he was leaned into him and had that smirk on his face and his eyes. I mean, Regal's face was, awesome. Told the story in itself. Just not him, not even saying a word. And when MJF was saying stuff, you know, cutting Regal down or whatever, he was just like, you know, just shaking his head and still smirking and still smiling. And MJF causing him to say, you know, you know, wipe that smirk off your face. You son of
You
a,
know why, Tony? You know
just
why?
awesome.
You know why? Because he's a man. He's a man.
A real man's man.
Steve in the chat.
Oh my God.
Sunshine, which is the song that MJF sang.
Yes.
He does that.
Yeah, and John in the chat, to your point, yes, I love some realism in my wrestling. I want my wrestling show to feel real to me. I want it to, you know, suck me in and you know, grab me with the emotion and make me believe it. Shut up.
But that's a word.
Okay, we talk about that a lot here. Like, the realism is great as long as it's agreed upon. If you're out there and you're talking about someone's family, you know, and this reminds me of Friday when Thunder cut that promo to start the show about how all this stuff's going on behind the scenes and people are going into business for themselves, and even their own coworkers are questioning her injury. And I'm not cool with that stuff. Like,
no, absolutely not.
If you're going to say something publicly about another wrestler and character, then you need to have agreement. Like, you have to agree upon that stuff. And we know that doesn't always happen in AEW, and I have an issue with that. But and that's,
but at the same time, like I've mentioned before, like, yeah, this, you know, that stuff, you know, isn't cool. But, you know, back in the day, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels had a very, very public battle with each other that was very personal, and, you know, things happen that were not agreed upon by both of them. They said things to each other, and, you know, we're still talking about that 25 years later. But I think you know, with stuff that's happened like that in history, you know, it's gotta, you know, feel, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I feel like there is a difference between that and, you know, for example, what's happening with Thunder right now. There is definitely a difference. But we all know there was a period of time where, you know, Bret Hart, you know, he spit on Vince's face. He, you know, he was not like welcome there for a while.
Yeah, but Mrs. Front Row says in the chat, she brings up, you know, the Reed Flair stuff, but Charlotte and Paige wrote that promo together, and while we might have found it cringy, they did agree upon the content. So I can't really complain too much about it. I didn't like it, but I also understood that they weren't hurting anybody's feelings. So when it's this stuff, when people are going out publicly, especially with the Thunder stuff, like, she's home injured, recovering, and people are on TV talking shit about her, you know, telling the audience that she's not really injured or hinting at it. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah, you know? She's not agreeing to that as part of the storyline, and you know, that part isn't cool.
No, very disrespectful.
Yeah, very, very disrespectful.
So before you move on, I do want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. I see Mrs. Front Row and John Bay and Steve and Steven. See Sam in Cleveland, my man Sam, and John in South Jersey, and who else we got in there? That's a lot of people tonight. There's a bunch of people. It's
I've seen Mongrovian Mike in the live chat too.
Oh, let me block him right now.
As she said, you know, so Thunder's I wouldn't really call it a promo because it was her, clearing things up. Statement. Yeah. Statement. It definitely was a shoot. I had to play it back for Seth because I was like, oh, you got to hear this. And when she said, keep my name out of your fucking mouth, I was like, oh shit.
Yep.
Like that is one angry Mexican woman, and you do not want to fuck with an angry Mexican woman.
No, if you've ever been with Thunder when she was angry, avoid it. Definitely avoid it at all costs.
Yeah.
But it'll all work out. She has a way of making things work for her. So it'll be fine. So we have a few minutes. I know before our guest is going to join us, let's talk some Bray Wyatt. This week we saw another promo, a backstage promo. And the only issue I had with this, it was awesome. But I liked the music in the background, but the music was loud. Like I had to replay it because I couldn't hear some of what he was saying. The volume levels were off. Did you guys pick up on that?
I really hadn't noticed that now, but come to think of it now that you said that, it was a little kind of like hard to know what he was saying. Like you really had to listen. Maybe that was the point.
Yeah.
Maybe they wanted to make you like perk up and really actively listen. Who knows? But yeah, it was great. I love that we're seeing more of, I think, is the personal side of Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda. And I think this whole thing is very interesting. The psychological aspect of it. There was a QR code on the screen last night that took you to an image of like a psychological evaluation. And a lot of it was redacted out, but there were certain key things in there that were shown. So yeah, very interesting. Very just like thought-provoking is the best thing.
One of the things I wanted to mention was, speaking of the music, if you go back and watch the promo, and I don't know how they did this, his speech pattern and the way that he did his promo matched the intensity levels of the music. Like it rose and fell.
Mm-hmm.
Music. I don't know how they did it, but it was perfect.
Yeah.
Because Billy had talked about that on the show last week about how you build an intensity.
Right.
Really seemed to match up with the music.
Maybe that's why the music was a little louder to us.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
one thing I noticed about the promo, he continued on with kind of his inflection on what he was trying to say in the ring last week. He kind of continued it as he's talking and as he's saying he wanted the fans back. He's got anger issues, blah, blah, blah. He wanted the fans to leave him the hell alone, blah, blah, blah. They helped pick him up, take the spears out of his ribs. And it was like, there was no tone in his voice change. He went directly talking the same way into how he's going to do evil stuff and how he's not going to have any remorse, blah, blah, blah. It was like there was no change in his facial features. Like he was just saying it with a straight face, like the same level. And it was so freaking creepy the way he was saying it. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think. Sorry, Elder, did you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's one of the aspects of his talent that I think we're really only just starting to see more of, is how he can kind of go in and out between those different characters that he's created, and really like. It's very much like a psychological thriller, and it's very much like you'd see in a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yep. And the thing is I made this point to you guys already. It's not a shot on AEW or anything, but this storyline is built for WWE program, because nobody would be able to produce these vignettes and the music.
Oh yeah.
And just the storytelling that Bray wants to convey through it, I think you need that $1 billion budget machine behind you,
right? Right. They'll probably say, what do you need? Tell me what you need. How do you want to do it?
Yeah. Whereas AEW, you have to really be in the ring. You could tell stories, but you got to do a lot more in the ring. Me, Bray Wyatt, I don't have to see him enter that ring and wrestle for a year, but it seems like they're going to find a way that they could do it, because he's going to be consumed by all these different characters at different points. I'm kind of guessing, but I'm along for that ride, man. Take my money.
I agree, and I think so previously Bray and the Fiend were basically alter egos, right? They were two sides of the same coin. And Bray said in his promo on Friday that he was a servant. To me, it's almost like now he has the Bray side of him is going to be taking direction from the other guy, whoever the evil thing is. So to me, it's more of a leader follower type of thing.
Yeah. And then and one thing also, I think it was from last night. I watched a bunch of stuff today because I missed SmackDown last night. But this Uncle Howdy cat, who's this guy? I mean, they left you hanging at the end of that. Oh, he said howdy, and it showed his face for a split second. I don't know who it is.
I don't either. It's going to be very interesting. But looks like our guest is in the green room. El, you want to bring him in for us?
All right. Wait. Oh, hold on. Wait a second.
Oh, God.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the coolest cat on the block all the way from Hotel California? He is Dr. Cool, Jay Klang.
Hey,
welcome,
how's it
brother.
going, guys?
What's up, bro?
What's up?
What's up?
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Doing pretty well, man. I'm doing pretty well. It's a good Saturday.
Yeah.
Good day.
Hell yeah.
Get to interview you in my collectible room.
That's good to hear. That's nice. I like that.
We're all into the gimmick, brother.
Awesome.
Doctor. I just want to say, what's up, Doc? I always like to say that to doctors.
You know what, man? Pretty good. I'm pretty good right now. I'm doing pretty well. It's a good weekend.
Are you in
Spooky
Hotel
season's
California, or
going
are you all the way out here on Long Island?
You know what? At the moment, I am at Hotel California in the Dr. Cool suite, of course.
I could tell.
I'm in a private area right now, super top secret. And
Naturally.
yeah, I'm just having the time of my life right now.
You got tinfoil on the windows to keep all the light out and everything?
I don't actually. I like the light comes in. I welcome it.
Okay. You want that. You welcome the light. Okay.
He seeks the light.
Cool.
He seeks
Exactly.
the light. He enlightens people and he seeks the light.
Nice.
Exactly.
So, all right, Dr. Cool, I saw you quite a few times already. A few VPW shows. I see you at a few MFW shows. Creative Pro. You're an alumni, or are you still a student? What year did you graduate from Creative Pro?
I'm still a student. I've been there for the last 2 years now. Just past 2 years last month.
All right, so I just saw you about a month ago, and you and the great Philip Cardigan got to tag team. But these are his glasses that I caught, by the way, the Dudley glasses.
Oh.
That's nice. Those are actually my glasses, by the way.
I'll give them back to you. I'll give them back.
No, they're all yours. It's all yours.
No, but these would be a real cool collectible for you, since you were, you tagged with Bully Ray. He's a hero. Sure. He's an icon to all of us, to many people, millions.
We love Bully.
We love Bully Ray. Chris from Baltimore loves him a little more, but that's another story.
Shout out to Chris.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us, how was it to get the rub from one Bully Ray? How did you and Philip Cardigan feel about that?
We felt really good. It was such a fun match to be a part of. Such an experience being in the ring with Bully Ray, because that's like, he's one of the first guys on a show where he's been at that big level that I got a chance to wrestle with him and to team with him. And like, even when he was making his entrance and after the match, when he brought a kid into the ring and gave him part of the door that we broke through, and then we did the was up, the get the tables thing. There was like, it was such a surreal experience that as a fan, before becoming a wrestler, I wouldn't like, if you told me that I was gonna do that when I was a fan, I wouldn't believe you. But now that we're here, it was a awesome experience, a cool learning experience as well. He knows a lot about wrestling as he's been doing it for over 20 years now. So it was so cool.
Oh yeah,
So
I
cool.
can imagine.
So he comes backstage. He comes back in the back there with all the wrestlers, and how was it just seeing him walk in there? He says he comes in, he greets everybody, and he's just a cool dude, but he is kind of hard to approach. Like if you look at him, he's kind of an intimidating guy to walk up to.
Yeah, he's a bit intimidating for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He is an intimidating guy. That is true, but yeah, he was really cool to all of us, cool to me and Phil. So he was, yeah, he had just as fun with us as we did during the match. Afterwards, he quote tweeted one of my tweets about it and said like that. Yeah, he had a great time. So that was pretty cool. So yeah. He's an intimidating guy. He's really big, but you know what? I'm glad I got a chance to meet him and tag with him.
Yeah. And he's in great shape now. All of us are like excited to see everything he's been doing since he kind of came back to the ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. NWA Impact, and he's got that mind, where, whatever he says, people listen. You get the chance to be under Bully's learning tree. I mean, that is an experience, and Bully definitely has a great mind for the business, and that's why we all love him. I mean, he's on Busted Open. He's one of my favorite hosts on Busted Open.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, he's just an amazing cat.
Now, speaking about under the learning tree, Creative Pro, this has got to be one of the best places to go and learn your craft. Tell us a little bit about how it is at Creative Pro. Who did you train with? Who are we seeing on TV now that you've been that you trained with, and now you're seeing them a couple of years later on TV?
So for Creative Pro, the two main trainers are Pat Buck and Brian Myers, but there are also like a lot of other guys trained from there. Like Bronson, he hosts a bunch of classes. Max Caster's also a trainer, and especially like for the first year or so where I was learning to be a wrestler, he was around a lot. A bunch of ex-students who had graduated and then became trainers. There's a ton of trainers. I know VSK's done a class or two. Same with Eric. Aaron Vork has done classes. Steven Azure. There's so many people there. It's like Creative Pro is kind of, at least when in the last 2 years I've been here, it's a good culture of guys who constantly try and make everyone better, and everyone's goal oriented and wants to get better, and everyone's helping each other out doing so, and it's a great time at the school. It
really is. Even the guy that sweeps the fucking ring gets over.
That's true.
Let's go, sweeper.
I had
sexy Ryan too, the announcer. You gotta see.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Deb.
So speaking of Creative Pro, they've been, getting a lot of attention lately because MJF came out of Creative Pro. Of course, Brian Myers is a coach there. So MJF has actually mentioned Creative Pro several times on recently, saying that Creative Pro is the best wrestling school in the country outside of the Performance Center. So to you, like, what does it mean to you to be part of like the Creative Pro process and part of that like upcoming legacy?
It's been incredible. I mean, I've learned so much from the last 2 years that I've been at Creative Pro, and over the last couple of years at least, it's gotten really big. It's become a noteworthy name in wrestling schools in America and across the world for that matter. And it's really cool, like, to be a part of that. And like, especially over the last few years, a bunch of guys from Cap have become big, as you said. MJF, Max Caster, Bronson, Chris Statlander, and there for sure are going to be so many more guys from Cap that make it to that next level, and I can't wait to see who that will be, if I'm going to be there, and it's just a fun ride because I've learned so much already, and I couldn't have picked a better school to go to besides Creative Pro.
Awesome.
Well, your attitude and your personality that I can tell, you have the right attitude to, you are going places. And I can see you being a big time deal in other companies, just you being the Creative Pro for 2 years. You've got a gimmick and it's pretty cool. Pardon
Very
the pun.
cool.
It's just amazing, and how you're, I was doing some research on you earlier, and I love the you call your fans alcoholics. That is so freaking it's funny to me, it's awesome. So yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
So let's move on to VPW. You were in the Gold Rush Rumble. Damn it, I was rooting for you, bro. You got thrown out, but it was still cool being in it, right? How is it working at VPW, and how corny is that guy John, the promoter? Is he as corny as he really is? Nah, he's a cool dude. I love that guy. You don't have to throw him under the bus, bro. How is it working?
I won't.
He's VPW?
For starters, this is a side note, but I just noticed you got a nice shirt there, Mike. I didn't realize that. You're the first buyer of my new shirt, so I appreciate that.
Look at you.
Who better than Mongrovian Mike to buy your first shirt?
Cheap.
He's going to give you that luck.
Pro Wrestling Tees.
Pro Wrestling Tees, Dr. Cool.
There you go.
Check it out.
Right.
So yeah, VPW. They were the first place outside of Cap where I went to go help out and try and get booked. My live debut was there. Actually, last year's Gold Rush Rumble was my live debut in front of fans. Super nerve-wracking when your first match is and you're getting counted down to 10, 9, 8, 7. Even now, it's like it spikes the adrenaline. It makes it so much more nerve-wracking.
You're right. Usually your first match, you're a curtain jerker, right?
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, VPW's been a lot of fun over the last year doing it. It's they draw a lot of the same fans. You see a lot of familiar faces. You get to know a lot of people there. The fans there love crowd interaction and talking with the wrestlers and whatnot. And it's very close to home. Well, I'm from Los Angeles, California, so nothing's really close to home out here in the Northeast. But it's very close to my Long Island area. So
yeah. How long is the drive? How long is the drive from?
It's like from Los Angeles, California. It's like a good old 700 hours or so.
I don't know. Tony's the greatest truck driver of all time. He could tell
a lot of Red Bulls.
Yeah. I'm not an energy drink guy. I'm a seltzer guy, even though it has none of the exact same effects. But yeah, VPW's been a lot of fun. Being there, the promoter's cool. He's a cool guy. He's not corny. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun there so far, and I'm looking forward to the future and perhaps winning a future Gold Rush Rumble.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
It could happen. I'm gonna throw a couple of names out of your brothers there at Creative Pro. Tell me what you think of Philip Cardigan.
Okay. He's a funny guy. He's got a really interesting personality. Yeah, he's a really cool dude. He's a great character. Super funny in the ring. I've teamed with him a few times outside of Cap too. It's always a pleasure. He's a cool dude. So I'm glad that he was there for the Bully Ray match.
Okay, here's another name. This guy's a nemesis of yours, a friend, nemesis.
Okay.
Some people say he's crazy, but he insists he's not crazy. Mike Anthony.
All right, am I allowed to curse on here, or is this?
You certainly are.
Fucking
Yeah. This ain't LeGrecker at the PC. Fuck
This
yeah!
This fucking guy is the biggest piece of shit that I've met in my entire life. My God, the last dude on my vlog. If you the fans out there, if you want to check it out, Dr. Cool J Clang on YouTube. Me and this man Mike Anthony had an absolute war for my Hotel Cool 4. And he was trying to take it over. He was trying to become the new Dr. Cool. I mean, is that even possible? Is that even possible? I'm the only Dr. Cool.
How did he find his way there?
Cool there is. And this Mike Anthony guy, he just does not get it. He does not get it. He never will get it. And for anyone out there who wants the full story, check out the vlog, Dr. Cool J Clang on YouTube. Check out the 4-part series of the Cool Cinematic Universe, and you'll get a full understanding of why I do not like this guy at all.
Wow. So Mike Anthony's been on kind of a wild
on
tear
a real
since
note,
Van Halen.
He's crazy, but he's not crazy.
True,
so
yeah.
that would take it. You gotta take that with a grain of salt. And I guess we'll get him on soon and get a rebut to that. But all right, Jack Tomlinson.
Hey, don't get me wrong.
No,
sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Cheers.
Mike Anthony, he's a great wrestler. He's a great wrestler, but he's just not Dr. Cool. He'll never be Dr. Cool.
He's also a good bass player too.
He did. By the way, he did win the Gold Rush Rumble. So that's.
Well, the thing is, I was not in the ring with him, so it just.
Yeah, you couldn't stun him with your coolness.
Exactly.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but okay, Jack Tomlinson.
Jack Tomlinson. He's the
Wrestler.
He's a really cool dude, a fellow wrestler, as I see. I'm a vlogging wrestler too, so I kind of I feel like I should also call myself that. Jack Tomlinson has arguably the most consistent and well-rounded social media game in wrestling. He
more so than Cardona.
I got an idea. You could get Smart Mark to fucking to copyright that shit for you, bro.
Well, technically, he should copyright me. Technically, he should copyright me because I've been doing it for a lot less than he has. But I don't know. Maybe there's a legal loophole that I can get through there.
Okay, here's another guy, obviously with Jack Tomlinson, Dante Drago.
Dante Drago, yeah, he's a
Drago. Sorry,
Dante Drago, man. He's a hard partier. Let me just say that. I've been to some of the after parties. And man, you never remember them. But they're a night that you'll never forget. Let that sink in a little bit.
Okay.
I went down a rabbit hole on your YouTube, on your vlog, the blooper reel. It's about 18 minutes long, and I was just dying. It's funny shit.
It's a doozy of a blooper reel.
Yeah,
it is a insane blooper reel.
Download that shit.
All right, Elder, you got any more?
Yeah, we got one more. Tell us about this sweeper guy. Who is this guy? He winds up getting the shit beat out of him by Slade or whoever. This poor bastard, all he's trying to do is sweep the shit out of the ring so you guys have a nice clean surface. What is that?
Yeah, man. He's an interesting guy. He kind of just showed up one day with a broom and was like, "Hey, you guys need a hand?" And I guess he's been in the ring a few times and he's done pretty well for himself. But yeah, I don't know where he came from. I don't know where he came from. I don't know who he is. I just know that he's just a broom guy. And yeah, that's it. So he's been in the ring with him before. He's small, but he packs a punch. But he's a real good custodian. And I'd like to have my hotel.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good guy. He gets a good chant going. But if he crosses like Slade or somebody, they just don't. They don't put up with his shit. But this is a triple hit. Pretty likable. Pretty Boy Johnny Collins and the Even Stevens.
The Even Stevens are just a couple of hooligans. Let me just say that. Absolute hooligans. It's tools. I don't I try and stay away from them as much as possible. Just going to put that out there. Johnny Collins, on the other hand, he's the current 23-6 YouTube champion for another wrestling podcast, Beyond the Barricade.
That's Papa Dank. You could give him a shout out. Shout out to Papa Dank. And
shout out to Papa Dank, Brandon Danker, Beyond the Barricade. Check him out on YouTube. The Johnny Collins is their 23-6 YouTube champion, and quite honestly, I've been trying to go after that title for quite some time now, and
he's ducking.
You know what? I think I just got to take it from him at this point, right?
He's ducking you, man. He's ducking you.
Yeah.
He's hiding behind Steven and Steven there.
Yeah, the two Jagaloons, the Even Stevens. Oh man. If I have to watch another episode of Steve End Update, I'm gonna
this is the fathead. Hey, Doc, this is the fathead that Steve Somerset got accosted with. There we go.
Yeah, he got hit with that.
Oh yeah,
That
you know, the Shook crew beat the crap out of him that night at the Gold Rush Rumble as well. How about the Shook crew? What do you think of these guys?
Shook crew's pretty fucking cool guys. You know, big stars on the indie scene over the last couple years. Yeah, they're cool guys. Bobby's a fun dude. Bobby Jr., he's pretty cool too. Bobby Jr.'s.
I got the goat there.
You got a goat?
Got
nice,
the goat
man.
up there, right
That's
next to
cool.
Megan Mason. Did you ever get hit by her? She's you don't want to get the red right hand, do you?
You know what? The last 2 years I've managed to successfully duck the red right hand, and I haven't been in the ring with her yet. So I'm very glad to say that.
Stay away from it. Yeah, Cade Lothbrock too is someone just you don't want to cross paths with that guy. He's not a happy, you know.
That's true, man.
He's not happy.
Yeah.
He's a roughhouser.
Tell us about Lego Doc. How did Lego Doc happen?
Well,
he's got Lego
here he is
Doc.
right now. Actually,
I knew I should have bought Lego Doc.
Nice.
I've got him. You should have bought Lego Dr. Cool. You can buy this version, the lab coat version, or you can get this is the Hawaiian shirt, which actually does better than the lab coat Lego Dr. Cool, believe it or not. But you know what? Both of them are great quality, and you should pick them up at any merch table that you see me at. $10. So Lego Dr. Cool. How did that happen? Almost a year of Lego Dr. Cool at this point, actually, which is pretty crazy to say. Lego Dr. Cool is my best friend in the whole world. He's always welcome at Hotel California. And you know what? One day I just decided that, hey, I need a Lego. I need a Lego. And I took 4 pieces out of my old Lego box, and I put them together, and here we got Lego Dr. Cool. The most ludicrous Lego, the baddest brick in the biome, the peachiest piece of plastic you will ever peruse. Lego Dr. Cool.
There
Always
you go.
Gotta love that guy.
Right.
So you also I know why you have heat with Steven Azure. He got you that that moonlighting gig as a security guard for the head of the table, didn't he?
He got me that gig.
Did he get you got him that gig?
I'll tell you what happened.
That was a bad gig for both of you. I gotta say, it really hurt.
Let me tell you what happened that night. I was hanging out in Hotel California, and I got a call from my boy Roman. All right, I got a call from Roman, and Roman, he says to me, "Yo, Doc, I need you tonight, man. I need you. The head of the table needs you. Brock Lesnar is going to be beating some people up. I need protection." And I'm like, "Yo, Roman, I got you." Roman's like, "Yo, Doc, Brock Lesnar, he wants to get in your office tonight. He wants to get in that ring. He wants to get in the doctor's office tonight. What are you going to do about that?" And I said, "You know what I'm going to do? I'm booking a flight right now to the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, and I'm giving Brock Lesnar a piece of my mind." And you know what? When Brock Lesnar, when he was on that announce table and he jumped off and he started swinging chairs at everybody, you know what I did? You know what I did?
What'd
What'd you do?
I got the fuck out of there.
I would too.
Now, let me tell you, is it true? Before he found Sammy, you were like the oosiest person he could go with outside the family to get, right? I mean, you were as oozy as you could get.
Oozy as fuck.
Oozy as fuck. AF.
Bro, I was the honorary coolse. The honorary coolse.
Coolse. He's coolsy.
Exactly. I was the only guy he could find.
We go with the flow, bro. We go with the gimmick. We go wherever the story takes us. We listen to the crowd and take it from there.
Exactly.
You did exactly what I would have did.
Yeah, man. I mean, I did what everyone did.
GTFO. Either that, I would have thrown Steven. I would have thrown little, I would have thrown Somerset in front of him or something, You know
who stayed behind and got their ass beat by Brock Lesnar?
Azure.
Steven Azure. He got his ass kicked. I got out of there. I was a smart man. You know what? There'll be another day where I get to defend the doctor's office from Brock Lesnar. I'm sure. That just wasn't that day. He
got his ass kicked so bad he thinks he's Stang.
That's facts, bro. That's true.
It's Stang.
This is fun. Hey, Dr. Cool. How would you like to preview the upcoming Halloween Havoc with us tonight? It's up to you if you would like to. If you know what's going on, do you know what's going on in NXT? I mean, you have some friends probably going to the PC Center in a few weeks, or have been. Who knows?
I know we got Braun Breaker's defending his championship. What is it? Triple threat tonight with Ilya Dragunov and
JD McDonough.
JD McDonough, my bad.
Yes.
6 matches on the card. Looks pretty good. It'll be a fun night. Might check it out.
We got
just hanging out.
We got Apollo Crews versus Grayson Waller. They got the spin the wheel, make the deal to be announced match. It's hopefully they don't land on the coal miner's glove. We know how those coal miner's glove matches go.
Facts.
What if it's a coal miner's glove though?
It could be a cool miner's glove.
Crazy. Oh my God.
Right. I like that.
There you go.
Only if. That would be fantastic. That would be, that's ideal. That's ideal.
It has to be. I mean, there's no other ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, it's just, that's the way it is.
You said but.
Mandy Rose versus Alba Fire. Singles match.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Mandy Rose is keeping it.
I do too.
Yeah, she's been on fire. This NXT has been it's been a godsend for her. People thought it was like a demotion, and no, it fine-tuned her finally. You look good, man. You look good.
You're talking to me?
Perfectly cool. You look cool, man.
Oh, thanks,
got Carmelo Hayes against Oro Mensah and Wesley Von Wagner and Nathan Frazier in a ladder match for the NXT North American Championship. That's a lot of names. That's going to be a high-flying, flippy-dippy match. Not my style. Not my style. But it's going to be exciting. Roxanne Perez versus Cora Jade. This is going to be a good match.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to go with Cora Jade on this. Yeah, you guys know I don't really watch NXT much, but Cora Jade to me seems like the standout star in kind of the younger women there. So yeah, I'm going with her.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think, Doc, when you see people like if they lose the belt in like NXT, like okay, they're getting called up, like when you see someone big in NXT and they lose a big match on a pay-per-view, it seems like all of a sudden they're on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown the next week. And
yeah, that seems to that happens, but you know what? Sometimes it doesn't happen, and you know what? This might be one of those times because you never know what's going to happen in the WWE.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You never know. I might just show up there tonight. Who knows? Maybe.
Hey, man.
Maybe I'm.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm there right now, and I'm just been lying to you guys, and I'm not actually in Hotel.
You got to be in the red eye, man. Who knows? That's sent for the red eye.
We don't know.
Could happen.
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
We would love it.
Who's to say?
And we got Julius Creed against Damon Kemp. That's an ambulance match. That's going to be a real. The Creed brothers have been getting screwed by Damon Kemp lately, and the whole thing. Diamond Mine is broke up, and now they're back together, and we'll see what happens. But if the Creed brothers lose, then they might be coming up. But the main event is what everybody wants: is that Braun Breaker, J.D. McDonough, and Ilya Dragunov. That's gonna be sick. Dr. Cool, are you into getting a headbutt from Ilya Dragunov? That doesn't look too fun. It doesn't look cool.
You know what? If he ever headbutted me, I'd probably just like I've got a hard head like that, so it wouldn't hurt.
You might break your glasses. You have to tape them up.
Nah, they're pretty indestructible.
You're indestructible.
Probably can't break those glasses you have.
It's that doctor's coat that you have. It's kind of like Doctor Strange's cape. It just protects you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Right.
I'm just
right.
I'm just like that. I'm just like that.
Cool like that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Halloween Havoc should be exciting tonight. And our buddy Dave LaGreca is on the pre-show.
Hell yeah.
So he's down there in Orlando right now, fixing to do the pre-show in about half an hour.
Half an hour.
So, yeah, we're all excited for that.
Dr. Cool, do you have anything upcoming that you want to plug that in the tri-state area, or if you're going to be in the California area, you got you on your vlog. Let's go. Promote yourself.
Nothing too serious coming up at the moment. But a new vlog is coming out soon. With two shows, a two-show special, which I'm very excited to drop. And I've also got a little bit of a 100 subscriber special on the YouTube channel. So Dr. Cool J Clang. If you're interested, go check it out. As you can see, my name here is at Dr. Cool Clang, Instagram and Twitter, and TikTok as well. Trying to get it out there on social media. So that's what's coming up with me.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, we got that out there. This is our buddy, Mr. Front Row. Maybe he has a question or two for the doc before we go.
Front row, you're muted.
There we go. Sorry about that. Dr. Cool, thanks for joining the show tonight. We really appreciate the time. We're excited to see what you have coming up next. And hopefully you're always welcome to come on and promote anything you have coming up.
Nothing crazy right now. Yeah, we're just seeing where the wind takes me.
Cool. Literally.
Cool breeze, right? The cool breeze.
Yeah, definitely see you at the next VPW show. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, that's in November. That's right. Yeah, I'll be there.
Cool.
Nice. I have one quick question for you, and that was, if you had to choose one of the bigger companies right now, if someone were to sign you tomorrow, where would you like to go? Where would you see yourself as the best fit?
Honestly, anywhere. I think both WWE, AEW, New Japan, Impact, anywhere could quite honestly use my level of coolness. So I think Dr. Cool, he's just a universal piece of the puzzle, if you feel me.
I agree.
Anywhere.
I'm catching what you're putting down, man. That's pretty cool.
Picking up what I'm putting down, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
May want to give Lady Frost a call at some point.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate
we like.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again for joining. Appreciate you.
Thanks,
Doc.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks.
Appreciate you, man.
Thanks.
Cool
Man.
guy. That Dr.
He was
Cool.
All right. Cool.
Cool, dude.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. We got a couple minutes left. I know you guys already talked about the card. I was listening. I wasn't ignoring y'all. But there was a couple matches I wanted to mention. That main event looks super interesting. I honestly don't know how to predict that match because I could see any of those guys winning, especially after the KO show. I did want to mention the women's match with Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, like both Mission Pro women who have wrestled in Mission Pro.
Yeah.
Sorry. But I did, like, I'm not an NXT guy. I watched all the Black and Gold stuff up until 2.0, and I really wasn't captivated by 2.0, but this last couple of weeks I watched, and this week's show was just awesome. And, you know, I know we were all sort of like hesitant, but they brought back Shinsuke Nakamura and KO, all these people, and they brought back the Black and Gold attributes, and I'm honestly pretty excited about it. So I'm probably going to start watching depending on how tonight goes. Especially, you know, with the Shawn Michaels interview and all the stuff that we've heard about the direction of NXT. So I hope people give it another try if you maybe stopped watching during the 2.0. And it looks like we're going to start to see a lot more elements. I know. And then Shawn Michaels specifically said on Friday that they were bringing back what made the Black and Gold brand special. So.
Right. Yeah, I definitely think I may pay attention to NXT more coming up. I'm not sure if I really want to add it back into my weekly routine just because Tuesday is kind of the only day that we don't watch wrestling.
Yeah.
So, and we kind of use that as a, you know, our time to catch up on other shows and stuff like that. But yeah, I think at least I will definitely, you know, probably pay attention to it more, watch some clips, stuff like that, just to keep up with what's happening on there.
Yeah. Agreed. Well, I'm excited for the pre-show. You know, those guys are going to have a good time. I'm really excited to see. I'm excited for Dave. I'm excited for Sam, who's done a ton of shows, so it's old school for him. But
yeah,
the three of them will have good chemistry, and it'll be fun. And
yes, they will.
I'll be watching.
Yes.
All right. Anything else before we let folks go and get their snacks and get ready for the pay-per-view? Premium live event. Sorry, premium live event.
It's pay-per-view. I don't. I am never going to get used to saying premium live event. I'm sorry. Like this is my, you know, yelling at the clouds moment. It's a pay-per-view. I don't care if we don't legit pay per view. It's a pay-per-view.
Yeah, is this?
I have to agree
that we still use too, like hanging up the phone. We don't actually hang up the phone. Haven't done that in 20 years.
Right.
We've been using cell phones for so long.
You press the button.
Nobody rolls up their window. You press the button.
Right.
But we still say, or maybe old.
Yeah, pay-per-view. Pay-per-view.
I'm with you.
All
right. We lost Mongrovian Mike. I think he had to step away. We're gonna wrap up. Let people go get their snacks, drinks, and.
He's out in his yard telling some kid to get off his lawn.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, there he is. There he is. He's back. He's back.
He's back. Oh boy. Oh god.
You're muted or you're something because we couldn't hear you.
I don't know.
All
there
right.
he is.
You dumb son of a bitch! I just have to go to pee. I'm old.
Oh god. Anywho,
I had to go run and pee. I was so excited with Dr. Cool that
he made you need to pee.
I'm old, man.
Anywho,
Deb, where can people find you on the Twitter?
All right, at That's So Debonair, and Today, I figured out how to change my username on Instagram. So I am That's So Debonair on Instagram as well.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right.
Tony.
Okay. Let me compose myself. I am at Tony Justice AJFA on Twitter. And if you're a Metallica fan, like I know all four of us are, you know what that means. Yeah.
Yeah. Mongrovian Mike?
Download that shit. Yeah. Mongrovian Mike. You can find me if you want. I'm sure he's all sick of me already. So, but anyway, Mongrovian Mike, anywhere on the social medias, you'll find me.
Nice.
No other asshole would name themselves this, but I did.
Hey, tribute.
A tribute to the great question mark. We love you. Great.
Yeah.
Joseph Hudson. Love you, Josephus.
And I am PW Front Row across all the social media platforms. You can find us at Nation's Corner on Twitter and The Nation's Corner across every other platform. We appreciate everybody joining tonight. We're going to see y'all next week. Have a good one.